Good morning, my name is Engineer Piyush Pandey. Welcome to today's session of Motivational Skills. So the topic for today's discussion is unwillingness to acknowledge problems. Ladies and gentlemen, problems are there in every organization. There is no organization where there is no problem. But only those organizations grow consistently who are capable of resolving their problems. Now, whenever you are facing any problem, you must have attitude of eradicating that problem. Only then the organization will grow. If you are not having attitude of eradicating that problem, the organization will always face downfall consistently. Most of the times, employees feel that if there is a problem, we should not tell it to higher authorities. If the company is facing any problem, we should not tell it to higher authorities. We should try to face that problem ourselves. We should try to resolve the problem ourselves. Now, that is a good attitude. Resolving problems by your own caliber, that is fine. But most of the times, employees feel that if we tell about a particular problem to the higher authorities, the higher authorities will certainly make certain changes in the current work pattern. And if they make those changes in current work pattern, it will not be good for us. Why? Because we have become habitual of following this existing work culture. We have become habitual of following this existing work culture and looking at the problem. If the management decides to revamp the work culture, it will be non-beneficial for us. We don't want any kind of change. We want things keep happening in the same manner as they have been happening till now. We don't want any kind of change. So there are many employees who have this kind of feeling in their mind. They don't want any kind of positive change. And why they don't desire any kind of positive change? There is only one reason. Because positive change will bring certain new tools, certain new technologies, certain new work procedures inside the organization, and they are not willing to follow those patterns and new work culture. They are not willing to follow those patterns. They don't want anything new. They don't want to know anything innovative, anything creative. Whatever has been happening in the organization since last 15 to 16 years, they are very comfortable with that. That's why they don't want to acknowledge problems. If there is a problem, if we talk about it to the management will feel that there is a need of some change, and that change is not acceptable to us. Because if that change gets implemented inside the organization, it will hamper our work pattern. The work pattern that we have been following since last many years inside the organization, that will be affected. And now, since we are so perfect in the current work pattern that we are following since last 15 to 16 years, it will be very difficult for us to follow a new work pattern. We will have to learn that new work pattern right from the beginning, right from the scratch. And that is very difficult at this stage. So, let the things go on as they are going on. We don't require any kind of change. Ladies and gentlemen, if employees follow such kind of attitude, very soon it will lead to a great downfall of the organization. Great downfall of the organization. Because you are not willing to overcome the problems. You are willing to live along with the problems. Now, these are two different attitudes. Number one is you want to live parallelly with the problems. You are doing your task, along with that, problems are also doing their task. And the second attitude is you want to overcome the problems to bring more benefits to your organization. Now, that is a fine attitude, that is a genuine attitude as a true professional. You want to overcome the problems so that your organization can grow more and more. But if you want to move parallelly along with the problems, the organization will never grow. And this attitude of hiding problems and following the same pattern, it never lasts for long, ladies and gentlemen. For a certain period of time, you can hide your shortcomings from your organization, but when, because of your shortcoming, someday your organization faces a heavy financial loss, you will be fired from the company. Because when the organization will face heavy financial loss because of the drawbacks inside the organization, definitely a review will be done. A review will be done by the organization, by the heads of the organization, by the owners of the organization, that what was the reason behind such kind of great downfall. And when it will come in picture that the only reason of this great downfall was people were not willing to accept new technologies and tools, people were not willing to accept new work pattern, the final question that will be asked by the heads of the organization will be, who was that person who was not willing to accept the change? Tell me the name of those people who were not willing to accept this change. Tell me the name of those people who were not willing to acquire new technology, new tool, new ideas. And when your name gets highlighted, that this was the person who was against any kind of innovation and creativity inside the organization, immediately you will be fired from the company. Immediately you will be fired from the company. Why? Because of few crucial reasons. Number one, you did not support management in the good activity which management wanted to implement inside the organization. You never supported management in the innovative and creative things that management wanted to bring inside the organization. Second, you made all the possible efforts to look into this, that new technologies don't get implemented inside the organization. Number one, you were not yourself willing to acquire new tools and technologies, new trends, and secondly, you tried your best that no new tools and technologies they come to your institution. Because once they come to your institution, once they come to your organization, it will entirely change the old work pattern, and you were not willing to accept this change. That's why you stopped other genuine people also to implement the change. And this kind of attitude will not only harm your organization, but it is a final threat to your job security also. It is a final threat to your job security also. That's why, as a good employee of the organization, as a genuine and sincere employee of the organization, try to follow all those changes which are beneficial for the organization. Because if there are drawbacks at certain places, organization can never grow completely. Few departments of your organization are working consistently, they are working fine, and in other departments of your organization there is lack of machinery, there is lack of people, there is lack of hardware and software, and they are not working consistently. You cannot say that the departments which are working consistently, only they are sufficient to provide you necessary benefits, and rest of the departments which are not working properly, you don't require any kind of change in those departments because they are not required. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever departments are there inside the organization, they equally participate in the upliftment of the organization. You cannot ignore even a single department inside an organization. If you ignore it, it will be a huge financial loss, a huge financial setback to your company. That's why be willing to accept positive changes inside the organization. Be willing to accept those challenges which can take your organization to the top. That's all for today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you loved my today's video. Please subscribe my channel, Piyush Pandey, Trainer B.Tech MBA, and please press the bell icon for constant updates. Thank you very much. Have a great day.